you had your accident, so...
Do you know?
No, I tend not to ask people, just like...
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So, like, how old were you when it all happened?
I was 22. It would have been just over 5 years ago now, so it was February 2014. And driving on the country roads, which Dorset's obviously famous for. And it was when we had the really bad flooding, and it was the pothole roads and really shocking weather. And I was going along a road, and someone pulled out of a side road and then stopped when they saw me come in, and to swerve around them, I was passenger, and then went into a field, and the car flipped on a drain in the fields, and then rolled a couple of times, and it was on the second roll, and the impact just broke my C5, burst my C6, and fractured my C7.
Wow. So,
did
so
a
pretty
good job.
traumatic experience. Yeah. Do you remember anything at the time about it? Like, do you remember what that was like at the time, or was it?
Yeah, because I wasn't unconscious, so I just remember sitting there thinking I've got to get out of the car because it looked like it was on fire because the front was like steaming, but it turned out just the radiator was burst, luckily. And I was thinking I can't move my legs, and I just remember thinking I've got to look down to see if I'm impaled because I couldn't feel the pain. I was thinking I've got to be brave, got to look down to the footwell and have a look. And then I looked and I was just like, okay, my legs are there, they're literally just fine, they're just there.
Yeah.
So why can't I move them? And I couldn't move my arms, and I was just sat there okay, I think I'm gonna need a little bit of help. And everyone's like, get out the car, and I was like, literally cannot get out.
Yeah.
So then just remember fire brigade coming out, and then come to go out, that you see on the TV, getting the roof cut off and being dragged out. And then air ambulance down to it was French in Bristol, which isn't there anymore. I spent 10 days in there.
So do you, when you had that experience, did you know anything about spinal cord injury at the time, or have any sort of knowledge? So it just what's happening?
It literally was. It was why can't I move? And then you see watch how we sit your casualty, and thinking this happens on there, but I don't know what they do. You don't see the rehab that goes in afterwards. You're just oh, they're okay afterwards.
Yeah. It's often oh, they've recovered.
Yeah. A couple of weeks they're written out for, and then something in the back, and they're fine.
Yeah. So how once you had your accident, what was it like the next sort of couple of days and that afterwards, when you were in hospital? Do you have much memory of that back then?
A little bit. I think I was on quite a lot of morphine, so I remember, or whatever they put me on. I remember, weirdly, because I had my operation to stabilise my neck the day after, so it's on the Monday, and I remember just vaguely some kind of, I don't know whether it was on the operating table or if I was just so spaced out, it just seemed like it was all coming at once, but someone was saying, no, they haven't tightened the bolts tight enough. So whether I then had to go back under, I've got no idea what that was about. And then I just remember being in hospital and just laying flat and not, because at the time I couldn't move my arms. So I was literally just totally dependent on people, and really dreading getting my hair washed because all the glass and the mud and that. And I really wanted it done, but I was thinking it's going to hurt like hell, trying to brush that. So at the time, that was my biggest focus. I wasn't worried about the rest. I was my hair was going to get washed. And I really didn't want it. So I just remember feeling all that, and then I was pretty out of it for a couple of days. I've been told I really wasn't happy. To start with, quite angry at the world, I think, and then it just kind of family pulled me through, and because they were literally there all the time, the whole time I was in Bristol, 24/7. I just had support off my little niece and nephew and brother, sister, everyone, just the whole family was there pulling me through. So
that's good.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it's a family in that time is very important. Having them there and having them support you. It's when you don't really want support. You just want to leave me alone. I want to hate the world.
Yes. I think my sister took the brunt of that quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tells me.
Yeah. It's good that they they stick around. That's what family's for. And that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they really pulled me through. And then went to Salisbury after 10 days being in French A. And I don't think I could move my arms very well then, because I remember when I got to Salisbury at lunchtime, they literally had to feed me as soon as I got in, so flat out bed rest. Because it's weird, because in French A, I don't know if you had the same, they let you sit up in the first hospital I went to, and then Salisbury you're flat out for 7 weeks. It was totally different.
Yeah, I was flat for 8 weeks while I was in Poole, which is just down the road here, and then when I moved to Salisbury, I was still flat. You know, they just didn't move me really for 8 weeks.
16 weeks.
8 weeks.
Oh,
8
so
weeks.
was it 16 in total?
No, yeah, sorry, eight in total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was just it was 4 weeks here and then 4 weeks in Salisbury.
Oh, okay. It's horrible.
Yeah, it was just 8 weeks staring at the ceiling.
Yeah.
You see every single dot that's in the ceiling.
You counted all the tiles or whatever, and you got no idea like when they move you on the bed either, like where you're going, do you?
No,
So you can picture it.
How do you feel when you sit up after that amount of time? Do you feel dizzy?
Yeah, dizzy is the best
Yeah.
way.
Disoriented.
Yeah, so what they do is they have it where you're very slowly progressed. It's not like, you're lying down for 8 weeks and you just suddenly sat up.
Yeah.
It's like, right, now you're in your wheelchair. It's like, first day is like 5 minutes, then it's 10 minutes the next day, then it's 15 minutes, and that goes on for like 3 or 4 week period until you're up all day. And even then, you're like, at the end of the day,
I was falling about bed.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think like you've been in bed that long, you're just like, I want to go back to bed now.
Yes. Yeah, people don't. You say it to your visitors, don't you? And they're just like, you've just spent like 7 weeks flat out. You're like, but I'm so tired, man.
Yeah, it doesn't wipe you out. You're just exhausted, like you've just run a marathon.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? You're literally just the fatigue. I remember someone, you get the people come around to visit you in hospital and saying like you won't realise how tired you get, and I was thinking at the moment I'm alright.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just hits you like, well, like I couldn't focus on anyone.
Yeah, no.
It's horrible. You're just in and out all the time. Oh. But it's it's what it is.
And then like obviously once you sort of got past that sort of stage of getting up and then you started doing your rehab and that, what was it like? You've got some function obviously. You're not moving your arms. So
Yes.
what was it like with the recovery?
Hard, but where I literally are. Well, I was laid up for 7 weeks. The physios came around with the little weights to do.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of that on the bed, and then used to take you down to the gym and do like some stuff down there.
And
but
what do you make in a bed? I don't know. It's part of your
yeah, you laughed at that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because he says I can make the bed at home now.
They didn't make me make the bed, thank God.
Did they not?
No.
What?
It's a sexist thing, I think.
I think, yeah, me and Katie were there trying to do it.
So he's not going to make the bed anyway. So.
Yeah. The one I thought I would. No, you didn't after I'd done it. It was a poor state of affairs afterwards.
Yeah.
After the whole hour. It was, just little tasks of picking up like a knife and fork for the first time.
Yeah.
Eating. It took longer to eat in hospital than it takes me to eat now. Which is saying something.
It goes cold.
Yes. Yeah, no, it felt it's motivating because you just want to do the best you can to get better.
Yeah. The more you do, the more you can do. So
exactly, yeah. If you just keep focusing on that, and then you kind of think that you are going to help benefit yourself. Like doing transfers to get strong enough to do them, you've got to, do the exercise and the weights and all that to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it helps you in day-to-day life and it pulls off. So.
Is there anything you can sort of remember from those days that sort of stands out, like while you were in hospital? Because how long were you in for?
5 months. So
it's a relatively short time.
Yeah, I was
some
lucky.
people,
Yeah.
Because I was in 8 months, and then but I knew people in there that were in there for over a year. Some people like over 2 years. It's like,
gosh, that's a long time.
Yeah, it depends on like how because some people don't just sustain a spinal injury; they sustain lots of different injuries and that along the way. Or some people have such high dependency. It's just like they need to be stable before they can go home. So
it makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah, so you've been in there for luckily 5 months really isn't a long time.
Yeah, it's good. So like was there anything in that sort of 5 months that you remember or?
I mean, met like lifelong friends in there definitely, because when you're in there, we were quite lucky that there was like 6 of us around about the same age. So you instantly just gel together straight away, and we all had our injuries at the same time. Pretty much, I think it was within weeks of each other. So we all were going through the stages together. Yeah, and it was that I will always remember and cherish. Well, I mean, I still see them now, so I know they're gonna be stuck with me for life. And I think that helped get me through it. And when you go out in downtown for the first time on the bus, that's really intimidating. Yeah, and scary, but fun as well because you got to sit with your back to the traffic and face everyone on the bus. You just sat there with like a collar on, like, hey, trying to blend in here, but you really don't. And then you got to go out the little ramp on the bus, and then going to Salisbury Town or City Centre for the first time, and actually experiencing cobbles.
Yeah, I was
and
going to say
pavements.
probably one of the most cobbly places in the country. It's like, let's go here in a wheelchair for the first time.
Yeah, straight into the deep end. But I think that helps because then it literally is real life. That's
that is
real life.
Because you go a lot of places and why have they got cobbles everywhere?
Yes. Yeah. Why do they hate me?
And you go in a supermarket, why can't everything be like this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
Yeah, if I could do my training around the supermarket, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Fly around shopping malls.
Exactly, yeah. You do one pushing it in the aisle.
Yeah, see how bad it can speed up, go. But yeah, it's good.